Welcome everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Bills, and today we're dealing with the 1991 Bentley Turbo R. Now this has 1081 horsepower, 1008 pounds-feet of torque from a 6.3 litre twin turbocharged W12 engine. That's two V6s pretty much welded together. And then the car now weighs 4,495 pounds. Has all-wheel drive, off-road tyres and off-road suspension, and it can now do 0 to 60 in 2.812 seconds, 0 to 106.529 seconds, and going to a top speed of 192 miles an hour. So not the fastest car in terms of the top end speed, and it is obviously still quite a weighty vehicle, but still it's obviously got better acceleration than it would have as standard. It's got more power from a bigger engine, and it does certainly weigh less as well, but obviously it's still quite a large car. It's got quite large overhangs over the rear end there, and that could spell trouble in terms of the bumps and the jumps, but still, who knows what it's going to do. And the stats wise, the handling's a bit on the low side, but the acceleration, launch, braking and off-road capability are all fairly solid, as well as the top speed. So this is actually the first Bentley that we've taken out on this series so far, so it's going to set a bit of a benchmark for this brand, but I'm not expecting it to be that quick, especially in comparison to maybe the likes of the previous two cars that we've had on the series so far, the Xpeng P7 and the Lotus Evija, two obviously more modern cars with electric motors and the like. So it's going to be interesting to see what this can do in comparison to those, given this is obviously a far more archaic car in terms of body design and weight and all that lot. But this has the engine out of the Bentley Continental R, is it? I think it's called. Whatever it's called but regardless, it's still a huge engine. Not quite as big in terms of cubic capacity as a standard engine that this car had, as it had a 6 3/4 litre. But it is bigger in terms of cylinders. It's got 4 extra cylinders and obviously 2 cylinder banks. So, 4 cylinder banks in fact, obviously it's W12. So still a pretty sizable engine, especially in terms of modern engines in general. We quite frankly need it given the amount of weight that this car has. Not sure if it's the most powerful engine you can put in it, but it felt right to put in a modern Bentley engine in a classic Bentley body. So still at the end of the day, more than 1,000 horsepower is plenty. And it's actually been a bit more agile than I expected it to be, quite frankly. Obviously it wasn't meant for this kind of power. It didn't even have 400 horsepower originally, despite it was such a large V8 engine with a turbocharger. But obviously that weight is going to be reining in some of that power, and then the all-wheel drive system is going to be doing that as well, which again it wasn't ever meant for, which quite frankly it's dealing with okay. Massive amounts of understeer, as you might expect. The large rear overhang there is not playing too much havoc so far. The worry is that it catches on something on a launch off a jump or landing on a jump, and it causes you to bounce around and just basically lose time or lose control. That's why typically off-road vehicles don't have large overhangs. So far impressed by the agility of this obviously extremely long and wide car. Decent rate of speed down there. This is quicker than the Xpeng. I will be surprised, because that car was lighter than we are. It had less power, but obviously the electric motors and batteries are a bit more immediate with their torque and power delivery. It's obviously a more modern car, so it does have that going for it as well, and it also had all-wheel drive standard, so everything would point towards the Xpeng being the quicker car, but this at the end of the day does feel faster. Whether that's going to translate to a faster time, we'll have to see. Come on, get it around this corner. And we are actually faster than the Xpeng, which is surprising given the vast difference in age and you know, technology and all that lot. But yeah, 3 minutes 26.648 is our final time. Far from the top of the leaderboard, but it has managed to just miss out on the top 30. It's slightly behind the Aston Martin Valhalla concept car. But yeah, it is ahead of the McLaren GT, the Audi TT-RS, the Oldsmobile Tornado, the Volkswagen Golf R, the Ford F-150 SVT Lightning, the Mazda 323 GTR, and even the Porsche 911 Desert Flyer, as well as off-road vehicles like the Land Rover Defender 110X, the Ford Bronco, the Toyota Land Cruiser, the Sierra Cars, the Toyota Tundra, as well as the Porsche Macan LPR Rally Raid. So yeah, it's ahead of some serious competition there, but yeah, like I said, it is somewhat behind the Valhalla concept car from Aston Martin. In fact, this is the first car to be in the 3 minutes 26 range. Everything else is either lower than this or higher, in the 3 minutes 27 and more range. But yeah, still, just to miss out on the top 30 despite weighing nearly £4,500 and yeah, not having anywhere near the level of power as some cars, and obviously being still quite an old, large car, that has done really, really well. And yeah, like I said, I was really impressed by how agile it was. It didn't feel as big as it was in some of those corners, and yeah, the all-wheel drive didn't play any real havoc in terms of understeer, and yeah, it had good power delivery and dealt with the off-road elements fine. So yeah, not the fastest going car on this series, but given everything that was going against it, a rather impressive effort, and to be ahead of some serious off-road competition as well as a far more modern car like the X-Peng is yeah, also really, really good, quite frankly. So yeah, nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.